And we're going to, let's see, we're going to do a throwback power hour. So this is the very first power hour I ever created. And it's a networking power hour. It's the power hour that I was asked by corporate to do in the champions page, which is still something you can tag your coaches on if you want to in there. And it is still relevant to this day. So we're going to go through it. I'm not going to share the tracker today just because there's some things on it that we're going to have to modify because this was from years ago. But I mostly wanted to just show that what we did to engage and network back then is still applicable today. There's no excuse really for any of us to not be networking every single day on social media. It's so easy. It's a brainless activity. It's the thing that there really is no emotional connection to. This is purely business, purely networking, purely trying to branch out of your comfort zone. And so that's really what I want you to keep in mind as we kind of go through these exercises, is to save that emotional energy for the connection part, right? We used to do this exercise called follow, unfollow. Does anyone remember that? Like way back in the day. We don't do that anymore, but that exercise was such a controversial thing, even then, even when it first started happening, because people could not emotionally detach from simple networking, just from saying hi to somebody. They felt like they had to, like, if I follow this person, I have to like invest entirely in this person. And that's not really what we're doing. All we're trying to do with networking is leave our business card, leave our digital footprint, boost the algorithm, try and get engagement happening, and actively trying to get people to come to you so that you can connect with them and then invite them. So networking is really the first step in, I think, really building your business. If this was your very first day of coaching, this is a power hour that I would probably teach you, because when you come into coaching and you start posting stuff on social media and you try looking for people to coach, where do you go? How do you do that? This is how. So we're going to go through this exercise. I'm just going to open the screen. This is a very fast-paced working hour, but we do it all together. So don't worry. And hopefully you will learn some stuff today. And if not, I think the main message is you need to be more engaged and more active on your platforms. You can't just post and ghost. You can't just post and then hope people are going to like and see your content anymore. Those days are gone. But most importantly, if you want to build a business where people eventually are coming to you and you don't have to go out and find people as much, this is what you should prioritize every day. This is going to help you build a new audience every single day for the content that you're posting. So you know that not the same people are just posting and commenting and supporting you, but every single day you're reaching new people. Okay. So we're going to do this again. We're going to modify it just a little bit to make sure that we're doing activities that are relevant. So if there's any on here that aren't, we're going to kind of switch it up a little bit. So the very first thing that I always do is create an engaging post. But today I wanted to start with something else, and then we'll do that. So the one thing that I just wanted to bring up today, what did you learn during the last couple years? What have you learned about social media, how to invite, how to talk to people? Like, what has the last couple years living through sort of this pandemic, how has that shaped what you're doing now? What have you learned? I think that this is important, because if we're still trying to interact in our old ways, it's probably not going to work. There has to be some introspection here. So what I want you to just ask yourself is, what has the last couple of years taught me about connection? And the reason I'm bringing connection up right now before our networking power hour is because I think getting on the right page and in the right mindset, even with networking, is really key. You have to remember why you're doing this, or else it's just going to be robotic engagement, right? So the few things that I've learned is, number one, I need to listen more. Number two, I need to assume nothing, right? A lot of the times we post something and then we assume how people are going to feel about it, how people are going to think about it. Or if we message somebody out of the blue or DM somebody, we assume things about what they're going to think when we do that. You got to stop that. That's not even in our control. So assume less, have empathy, but also have your own opinion. This is really important. If there's one thing specifically that I've learned over the past couple of years with everything that's gone on, it's everyone has an opinion, and so should I, right? Like, don't just blindly follow things. Hold on. Let me enable transcription. There we go. Hopefully that worked. Sorry, I keep forgetting to do that. Thank you for reminding me. People need to learn how to take care of themselves and their own needs. That's like the most pivotal point coming out of the last couple of years, is that people need to learn how to take care of themselves. How many people went into a cycle of mass destruction when the pandemic hit? Because they literally had never slowed down long enough to take care of themselves. And all of a sudden, we're in the situation where it's like, you have to survive. Like, you have to meet your needs. You're not getting that fulfillment of socializing or work or the change of environment. You're not getting any of those things anymore. And what happened was a lot of people were like, I don't know what the hell to do. Like, what do I do? Right. And the only answer for that before was, maybe you should get skinnier. Maybe you should eat healthier. Maybe you should look a certain way. Maybe you should work on certain things, where that's really not what self-care is about, right? It's about moving your body. It's about eating like you care about yourself. It's about doing the self-work and fulfilling your own needs so that you can be a healthier, happier, more functioning person. So taking all of the things that you've learned, and I love that people are writing the things that they've learned down in the chat, because I think this is so important. And now going into your networking power hour with a little more intention of, I'm here to teach people how to take care of themselves. I'm here to help people learn how to fulfill their own needs, because so many people are looking externally for that stuff. Okay. Okay. I've learned that sharing my challenges is just as valuable to my followers as sharing my success, if not more. This is something I talked about with my team last night. We're in a phase now where progress needs to happen, and there has to be a group of people that stand up and show that they're moving on, right? Like, we have to show and pave that path now. What does it look like to move on? What does it look like to get back to performance-based habits, goals, and start operating in healthier, more functioning ways again? We have to be that example. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. By the end of this, I hope you understand networking a little bit better. I hope you're able to create some new connections from it. I hope you're able to find somebody to invite. That would be like the most ideal to gain a customer or a new challenger, right? So the very first thing we're going to do is create an engaging Instagram post. And what I mean by engaging, whenever I say that, generally speaking, if you post an opinion that you have about something, I believe this. My opinion with this topic is this. Here's my approach, right? If you share an opinion and you have a voice in this space about specific things, most of the time people will engage in that better. If it's just documenting and just, here's my day, here's what I did today, here's what's going on, it's less likely to get engagement. So with this specific post, with our kickoff post for this power hour, I want you to create an engaging post. figure out a topic within your niche. You can even find like the main problem right now that you're seeing in it and give your opinion about it, whatever it is. But we're going to go ahead and make that first post. So I'm just going to turn on a little bit of music, and we're going to take a good 7 to 10 minutes to put some thought and effort into this. And if you already posted this morning, post again. It's okay. Right? Like, it's okay to post in real time and to even say that. I know I just posted, but this is my real time post. This is something that I have on my heart today that I want to talk about. Okay. Okay, guys, one more minute. I'm going to explain the next activity while you're wrapping up and getting that posted so we can stay on track. The next thing on our list is to create a poll in our Instagram stories. They've changed polls a little bit. So instead, we're going to do a question. We're going to ask an engaging question in our Instagram story to kind of kick off our day. So you can either, and don't forget to share your post that you just made to your Instagram stories. And then you can do a follow-up question, even on the next slide in your Instagram stories that relates to that will make them have to go and read it in order to answer. That's a really great trick to get people not only reading your content, but also engaging on it in two separate areas. They'll probably comment on your post and then go back and answer the question in your story, but also, or you can ask something else. So a really good question at the moment. And if you ever run out of ideas, Google it. What's a good question to ask people? But you can ask, what's your biggest takeaway from the past 2 years? You can say, what did you learn about yourself between 2020 and 2022? Those are good questions, right? It's kind of helping your audience catch up, and you're starting to help them move on from this, move forward from this, get out of the, we're not there anymore, we're here now. Let's go mindset. Okay. The question, what's been your biggest takeaway regarding your own personal care? And I like to pull it up in a question format so they can fill in the answer. So they don't like just mark yes or no these days. I don't even know if that's an option anymore, but they can actually message me with context. They can be like, oh my gosh, I learned so much about myself. It's surprising when you ask people good questions, the engagement that you get back. And remember, with networking, it's all about creating engagement, creating opportunity. Like every activity we do today is also boosting your algorithm and helping your content get seen. The more engagement you have, the more Instagram is like, this is valuable, right? So go in, we're going to take 3 minutes and create an Instagram poll or ask a question. Can I teach you guys a trick if you get mental block with creating a post, but you know you want to like be present and like show up for the day? Find a picture of yourself and whatever time of day it is, use your caption and just say, good morning, good afternoon, happy evening. That's it. Like, just show your face. It doesn't have to always be like this crazy, complex post that is going to be extremely valuable to everybody. Sometimes it's more valuable for you to just show yourself showing up, right? Like, don't overthink it. Just do it. Okay. Next exercise, you should be done. I asked 2 questions and created 2 polls in 3 minutes while talking. So if I can do that, then you guys can do this. The next thing is the find and follow. So this is outdated. We don't do this anymore. So what we do instead is I like to just do a find and follow exercise. So what I want you to focus on with this, we're going to take 5 minutes. Like I want you to like try and be intentional with this. And I want you to find a new account to follow that is in season. I want you to look specifically for either new people to follow, new accounts to follow. And a really great way to do that is to go to your little magnifying glass on Instagram and just search a topic. Like if there's something that you're trying to work on right now, type that in right there and you'll find any accounts, hashtags associated with that topic. Find it, follow it. It's so important to do this often, not only because you want to constantly be finding things to draw from, but also grow from. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. And when you find somebody new to follow, I want you to post it in the chat. Okay, if it's a person, just put, I followed a new person. If it's a new account, you can write the hashtag or the account tag or whatever. But I want you to show me that you're actively looking for things that are going to improve you in this season of life. And you are filling your feed with good information, good people that are in season, on topic right now. You have to constantly be updating that. Okay. Great tip, Tanya. Okay. We're going to move on to the next thing. Hopefully you found someone. My new favorite follows are the Ballerina Farm. If any of you guys don't follow her, it's crazy. And I really like this other guy who cooks outside, like in the mountains. And it's so beautiful and so crazy. And what I've found is that the value in following people like that for me is it keeps me inspired. It creates energy within me to do my craft better. They're so polished. They're so good at what they do. It's just them living their best life, doing things that they love. And to me, seeing other people doing that really empowers me. So that's where the value is for me. It's not always like, what tool are they going to give me to share? What personal development am I doing? Like sometimes it's just creating that new energy every single day, like starting off on a positive foot. Okay. The next one we're going to do is leave 10 compliments. This is just as applicable today as it used to be. There's no better way to start connecting with people than to acknowledge them. So what I want to do is focus right now on your main feed. So go into your Instagram, pull up your main feed, just click your little house. And you're also going to start to notice like what's in your space, right? Like your feed is your space. You want it to be in season, on point, relative, creating that positive energy for you. And if it's not, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's okay if you go out of season with certain things, okay? But the reason why we're doing the compliments here is because A, I want you to pay attention to what's in your feed. And B, because that's what you're paying attention to. And B, I want you to get in the habit of leaving comments that have value and being able to recognize and acknowledge other people. That's specifically what this exercise is about. Okay. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes and I want you to leave as many compliments as you can. Try and get 10. Okay. Go. Okay, for this last minute, as you're continuing to leave your compliments, did you have actual people to leave comments for? Or is your feed filled with a lot of news reports, like non substance accounts? Like, is your feed actually helping you to grow your business, to grow as a person? Or is it currently filled with a lot of things that just fill up time, that steal your time? I think this is such a good check for everybody, especially right now, to understand that like the more people your feed is filled with, people that you are meeting in these social settings, like new people, new faces, that's a sign that you're doing things right. Like you're networking. If there's people in your feed that you're like, I don't know who this is, maybe you should be like, how did I start following them? Why are they showing up in my feed? There's a reason, right? Start paying attention to that kind of stuff, especially if you get lost on Instagram a lot, because it's so easy to do that, right? Okay. Compliments left. So the next thing we're going to do is 10 interactions with our current followers. So go to your homepage on your Instagram, pull up your followers if you can. And you can even just go to the top 10. They're the people who followed you the most recently. And I want you to try and interact with them in some way. Also, this is a great opportunity to find accounts that are following you that you're like, I had no idea this person was following me, deleted, right? Like you can kind of clean out your account at the same time. I don't do that any other time, by the way. I just let whatever's following me. I don't waste my time with that. But I want you to go in and just try and create 10 interactions with people. And I'm going to teach you something really quick. I have an ultimate snack pack. That's what I call it. Because I was literally feeding my child a snack pack pudding when I came up with this little concoction. I try to give out 10 snack packs a day. And what that means is I like to go to 10 different people's accounts, give them a like, give them a save, DM them, and comment on their post. All 4 things. Because if you think about it, if someone did that for you, wouldn't you be like, that's awesome? They commented, they liked it, they saved it, they shared it, and they DM'd me. Like that's the ultimate engagement, right? Like that is the snack pack. If you can start giving that to other people and putting out there what you want to receive, I promise you, it will start happening. Okay, so go see if you can give out a couple snack packs. Go to a page of somebody who started following you, who's already connected with you, and teach them how to engage in the way that you want to be engaged with. Okay, and then give us a couple minutes to do that. Okay, we're gonna keep going in the heart of keeping going. I don't want to do anything or stay in any spot too long in this power hour. Those activities we just did are the ones that take the longest. The rest of it, super fast. Okay. I did like that Jennifer said, my feed is filled with coaches and TV personalities. So is mine. It's fine. That's why I'm like, oh, it's probably time to clean up my Instagram feed. But it's been the last 2 years, right? Like all that residual is still kind of lingering around. I promise you, if you take the trash out and you regain some intentionality there, it's going to help tremendously, even if it's painful and even if it sucks at first. And even if you're like, I don't want to get back into the working mindset. I don't want to start performing again. It's time. You guys have to be the ones that lead that way and show people how to do it, that you're moving on. Okay. So this next exercise we're going to do is we're going to like 25 photos. So simple, so easy. You have 1 minute. Okay. You can even go to your feed again and just do it right from there. You can go to your search page and start liking stuff from there. I generally like to do this with the people that are following me, just because that makes the most sense, because it leaves your footprint on their page and they already connected with you. So it's just like one step closer to them interacting with you. But the fastest way to do it and the most effective way to do that, if you're networking properly, is to go to your feed and like the first 25 photos. Again, this is why your feed is so important to be relevant, in season, filled with people who potentially could join your business, become your friend, right? Add value to you and keep you focused on why you're showing up every single day. Okay, so I'm going to give us 1 minute and I want you to like 25 photos. And when you're done, post in the chat. Okay, go. Okay, I'm done. Is anyone else done? That took literally less than 1 minute. Okay, but when you like photos, again, this is about showing Instagram, hey, I'm socializing, I'm using your platform, I'm using the tools, I'm engaging with people. Like that's what they want to see. So this helps you not only create more connection, but it teaches you how to support people. Because how many times do you go to pages or see things and you don't interact with it? Even though that's like your biggest pet peeve that people don't do for you, right? Like put out there what you want in return. Start behaving in ways that you hope to help people learn how to behave. Okay. Okay, let's see. And Sylvia, you're so right. Like the algorithm right now is so oriented around the bigger feeds. That's why it's especially important to do this networking on those smaller accounts, on actual people, like actual people's pages, comment, compliment, share stuff, snack pack them. Like that's really how it's going to start to transform your feed. And it will. Your feed shows you what you're paying the most attention to. That's how it's robotically designed, right? Okay. Next thing is queuing up an Instagram post for later, but we're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is teach you guys how to do a 2-minute reel. How many of you guys have got and jumped on the reel train? Raise your hand. How many of you are still like, I freaking hate this, but I'm going to do it? That's me. I hate it, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to teach you something. So what I want you to do is pull up, go to your little plus, hit reel. Okay. Okay. Yay. I'm glad other people hate reels. So I want you to pull up your reel page And I'm going to teach you a little trick. You can put your favorite filter on it if you want. If you don't, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to teach you, if you guys don't know this already, is how to zoom in and zoom out on your face. Do you know how to do that while you're recording? Okay, you literally, I'm just going to show you. You hit your record button, right? So it's recording. You just scroll up, slide up with your finger, and slide down. That's it. It's so easy. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to literally make like a 7-second video of your face, like just sitting here, looking around, looking at nature, contemplating, whatever it is. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of music on it or a sound effect and your favorite quote of all time. That's it. That's all we're going to do. And then you're going to post it. Okay. So I'm going to give us 3 minutes. We're all going to get it done. And then I want you to share the quote that you posted. Okay. Okay. The most important thing with this is not to overthink the music or the audio. Like instrumental stuff over quotes, super easy. So if you just go into the music, if you scroll down, there's like new music Tuesday. I don't know if you guys see that. There's like a ton of stuff on there. Like literally try to just pick whatever vibe is your mood at the moment. Like if you're in like a super like contemplating mood, pick like, I don't know, just like try and match kind of the vibe. But if you just put your favorite quote on there and then in your caption you say, this quote has saved my life, changed my life, grounded me. I don't know how I just did that. I just colored on my thing. That's weird. Whatever. And then you post it. Like, again, don't overthink what you're doing. Just try to constantly create that focus, that intention for yourself, and that value for yourself. If you see your own favorite quote on your feed and you share something that's actually deeply meaningful to you, rather than just looking up a random quote on the internet and posting it, it's different. Like you care about it, right? And when you care about what you're posting and you care about what you're doing, it doesn't freaking matter if anybody else does. One of the things I loved the most about what you guys were saying, what you learned in the pandemic, was to not care what anyone else thinks about me. I think a lot of people came out of that pandemic with that mindset of like, I don't give AF anymore. Like, I'm just going to do me. I don't have time to do anything else, right? Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is bookmark a post. Do you guys know how to do this? Have you guys all created your content? Like, do you know how to save posts and create folders with saved posts on Instagram? I'm just going to walk you through it really quick in case you don't know it. just so you can start to do this. It's extremely helpful. So we're just going to make this really simple. I want you to go to your favorite mentor's account on Instagram. Your favorite one. Gary Vee is one of my faves of all time. If you guys ever want to know how to take care of people, he will teach you. Okay. So go to your favorite mentor's account. I want you to find a post that resonates with you. I also use mindset therapy a lot because I love that page. It helps me tremendously. And I find a quote that I love. And what you do is you hit the little flag on the bottom right corner, and that will save it. But if you hit the button that comes up that says save to collection, right? You can hit the little plus sign if you've never done this before. And what it does is allows you to create a little folder where you can start organizing and collecting things that you find on Instagram that you want to save. So I have one for like personal development, like the personal work that I'm doing that I add to whenever I find something that resonates with me. I have a folder for sharing, like things that I want to share with other people, really good content. I have one that is like mimic, like recreate this in my own way. I have a lot of different folders in there from a lot of different interests, but I'm constantly bookmarking, saving, sharing content all the time. There's no reason for you to have to be like a content whore. Like just get out there and find something good that's already been created and share it. That's also great networking, right? Because you're sharing other people's amazing content, which tags them on it. The mindset page is mindset therapy. Okay, so bookmark and add to those folders every day. When you're having those brain dysfunctions where you can't think of what to post or what to do, you've now got a whole plethora of folders full of crap to inspire you to either post or share, right? So use them, utilize the tools that are in front of you. That's a really simple one. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, and this is a really good networking tool as well. This is something I do with my new challengers quite often, is I'll go back into my Instagram feed. I'll find a post or a topic or something that I posted a while ago that's relevant to my challenger, and I'll tag them in it. Especially if they're older posts. It's like, hey, I was just thinking about you. I ran across this post. I was looking for it so I could tag you on it. This shows people that you're thinking of them. This creates automatic connection, and this helps you start engaging in a different kind of relationship with the person that you're tagging. Does that make sense? So I want you to think of maybe a challenger that you have today or a coach that you have today. And I want you to go into your feed really quick. And I want you to think, okay, who can I tag on what? Who can I call forward? There's a post, because I just got back from Florida, so I could tag my coach Jess, who's in Florida, and be like, I miss Florida. I wish I could have seen you while I was there. So simple, but those kinds of things go a really long way. Okay, so try and tag someone in one of your posts. Or you can go to one of your posts that was a really high performing one and reshare it to your feed. Reuse your own content. So one of those two things, and then post which one you did when you're done. Okay. I did both. I shared content and tagged someone. Okay, next thing is follow back 5 of your most recent followers. That's also something you can add to your snack pack, is a follow. Okay, so go onto your homepage, go to your followers. This is a really great way to start building your feed back up. Okay, and instead of just following the first 5 people that have followed you the most recently, what I want you to do is scan through your followers and look for people who you genuinely want to try to get to know or that are interested in following back. Like go to their page and be like, oh my gosh, who is Blue Shadow Guy? Or who is this person? And then see if there's somebody that you would connect with. And if you would, then follow them back. Okay. This is like, what I want you to think about your followers is people who get you. If you ever feel like I'm alone, nobody understands me, nobody gets me, all these people that are following you have connected with you and they get you. It's a great space to branch out and try and find new friends on social media. Just go right where it matters most. My feed is a little sad right now because I had a post go globally viral. And let me tell you guys, that's not a blessing. You would think that that's like the ultimate. It's not a blessing. It's terrible. Because then you get people from a billion other countries that don't even speak English following you. It's really fun. And then you have to figure that out. Okay, so go through and follow 5 people. 3 to 5 people. Yeah, the Middle East. So my post, my video, I made a cardinal mistake and I posted a video that was not on topic. That was my first mistake. My second mistake was I kept it up and then it went global, like to India, to Asia, to the Middle East, to literally everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like I literally had to turn my Instagram off for a couple of days. But what's crazy is that post, and it's like a post of nothing. It's the weirdest thing. Got like 4 million views. Like 16,000 people saved it. Like 200,000 people shared it. Like it's the weirdest thing. And it literally is like the most obsolete thing I've ever posted. Like it's crazy. Anyway, it just goes to show like that's not the most important thing. Okay. So next, what I want you to do is go back into your Instagram stories and pull up your question that you asked and your poll. So go back to that page. And if you swipe up, it'll show you who has responded to it. And I already have a few people who have responded, right? These are now conversations that can go into the next phase connection. You now have people to talk to. Every day, if you ask a question, you will have new people to talk to, right? So go in. Does anybody have anyone who responded to their questions? Mine were, again, my 2 questions were, what has been your biggest takeaway regarding your own mental health or personal care? And what did you learn about yourself over the past 2 years? Those were my questions. Okay. Let's see. Honestly, Jennifer, that's a really good point. Like a lot of people say no one answers my polls. I ask anyway. My goal isn't to always get the answer. My goal is to help people have some introspection, to think. I like having people think, right? Think for themselves. And so as long as I'm asking the questions, I know people are thinking about it, whether they answer it or not. And that's really my goal with that. Okay. Okay. So the last 2 things, and I know it's 8 o'clock already, but we already got through this entire list and did a ton of stuff. So we responded to the polls. The very last thing, because we're not going to unfollow. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to teach you one other thing, a really good place to start engaging. If you go to your Instagram homepage and you click on your followers, is it your following? No. Yes. Click on who you're following it will say 3 categories at the top of that. So this is who you're following. It will say the people you've least interacted with, most shown in feed, most of the people shown in your feed, and the hashtags that you follow. Are you guys all seeing that? Those are 3 key things. You can go into who you're least interacting with and start interacting with them, even if they're big accounts, right? If you're seeing your most shown in feed are people that you're not interacting with at all, and you go through most shown in feed and you're looking at that and you're like, oh my gosh, these are all coaches, these are all celebrities, these are all huge accounts. I need to start engaging differently on this platform. You created that. The algorithm didn't. They're just following what you're doing on Instagram. Okay. So if that's filled with people and family and friends, kudos to you. That says a lot right now. Okay. And that's it. Like, that's just a little piece of the networking pocket that you can do every day. Take 1 or 2 of those things, do it every single day. The things that were easy for you, the things that took the least amount of time are generally the things that I get the most consistent about: liking photos, commenting on people's stuff, doing the little snack packs here and there, like really trying to add value that way to myself and my business and my platform is so key. So again, did we overthink any of that stuff? Is any of that stuff overly emotional? No, it's just business. You're a business owner, right? Like, it's just what we do. We have to network. Okay. I'm just going to answer a couple questions. So if you have to hop off, thanks for hopping on. That was awesome. We had 75 people today. That's so good. That means like people are still engaged. People are still wanting to grow and have a vision and goals. That's awesome. Shan said, do you suggest not following people like Gary Vee, but bookmarking those people instead? Yeah, you can do that. You can also follow their hashtag, because almost every big account uses their name as a hashtag, and you can find the same information. Again, with big accounts, the key with that, you guys, is following accounts that actually center around your growth, or help you focus or become a better coach, or personally inspire you or energize you to be able to do your job better every day. That like those accounts that I was telling you about, like the ballerina farm and this guy who freaking is somewhere in I don't even know where he is, like Uzbekistan, who's like cooking in the middle of the mountains. Like, to me, it's like, man, they're chasing their dream. Like, that's what I want to do. And it inspires me in that way, to not lose focus, to not burn out, to not forget why I'm here, right? So as long as it's okay to follow big accounts, right? But when you're following those smaller, smaller accounts, real people, and that's who you're engaging with, that's actually what's going to move your needle forward. And that's really what I want you to pay more attention to, is the activity that I'm doing actually going to help my business? Is this going to funnel at the end of the day all the way to a customer getting results? Is this activity going to lead to someone starting, investing, working, and transforming? And if not, is it worth my time? Is it giving me something else that's going to help me do that better? Right? Okay. I can share this worksheet, but it's a little outdated, and I feel like your coaches will be real mad at me if I share it, because it has some of that stuff on it. But I will put this recording up on my YouTube. I put all of these up on my YouTube, the ones that we do together. So I think my YouTube is just Coach Jace. You can just find it that way. And it's got a ton of past power hours and stuff. And actually, I just got the subscriber option on my Instagram. Do any of you guys have that? Where you can people can start paying to subscribe to your page, which I think is so weird, because it's anyway. So what I think I might do is just start sharing the worksheets in that space, so that you guys can get those. Let's see. And so that there's like actual value with that. But I do share all of these to my YouTube. So thanks for hopping on. It's 8:06. Go get your kids to school or get your morning coffee or walk in or whatever you do in the mornings. I'm going to go take a nap. Just kidding. And I will see you guys in a couple of weeks.